What is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. This weekend I watched It Comes at Night.
I just want to talk. And I want honest answers. Do you have any idea what's going on out there?
Now, I had planned on making this a strict voiceover review, but considering the trailer gave some stuff away that I didn't really like that it gave away, I'm going to do straight up my face the whole time so you get to see me instead of me showing you the trailer. And I thought this review should be more personal, considering this movie is divided with audiences. I mean, some people love it, some people hate it. It has like a 50, 60 something audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, the critic score is much higher, but the audience score is split. And here's the thing, I can understand why, because the trailer makes you think it's a completely different movie. This is not a horror film. This is not even really a thriller. I mean, it's kind of a thriller, more of a psychological thriller, but this is just something that's different. When the movie was over, somebody got up and said, well, that was the worst movie I've ever seen. I'm just sitting there like, dude, come on, man. Because if that's the worst movie you've ever seen, well, my God, you should have went next door and saw The Mummy. Okay, I've not seen The Mummy yet, but I've heard it's terrible. Bad, Austin. You can't judge a movie without seeing it. Bad. Speaking of bad, let's talk about the good. So I'll start with this. This is a film lover's film, and here's what I mean by that. It is filmed wonderfully. The direction is awesome. The actors all do a fantastic job. I love Joel Edgerton, but not just him. The supporting actors do a great job as well, and I like the story flow. While it was very slow, and we'll get into that later, the pacing itself was good, and it kept whoever is watching it and actually wanting to watch it instead of wanting to see a horror movie on edge the entire time. And I don't want to say too much, but this is a movie that really gets in there, right? The things that happen in the movie, a lot of them happen or they don't happen. It's very mysterious about what is going on and why it's going on, and you don't get all of your questions answered. While most people don't like that, especially the guy sitting behind me who said it's the worst movie he's ever seen, I like the fact that you can watch a movie, think about a movie, not have everything answered and everything revealed to you, and talk about it and want to talk about it after the movie's over. This is that kind of film. Look, it's slow. It's definitely slow, but I felt like it had to be slow to get the point across. Whatever that point may be, that's for you guys to find out, but I thought it did justice to the story that it was telling, and I like the fact that the director just didn't rush things. He took his time and he established everything he wanted to establish. And instead of creating this big horror film that everybody is expecting, he made a more personal story about what two families do when they're in the woods and they don't know what's out there. We don't know what's out there. Do we find out what's out there? That's why you guys need to go see this movie, because it's just so interesting and your imagination runs wild. And once again, I get why people don't like that. I get why people will not like this movie. Some people will hate this movie, but you know what? I liked it. I talked about the slow pacing. Now, that pacing may be too slow for some. For me, it may have creeped up on that, okay, this needs to move along and something needs to happen. And I think that's the biggest problem with this movie. Nothing really ever happens. Of course, you have the climactic thing at the end, but even then, it's like, okay, that's the most climactic thing in the movie, but it's not that climactic. I mean, you don't really know why things are happening, and you never really figure out why certain things happen in the movie. And like I said, that's going to bother some people. It kind of bothered me. I wanted to know some of the answers, but I like thinking about it, and I like trusting the director to tell the story he wants to tell if he does a good job telling it, and he did do a good job telling it. I cannot put that past him. I can't think of a lot wrong with this movie other than I wanted a little bit more out of it. I wanted something else to happen. I wanted a character to maybe do this or that, or I wanted a little more explanation, but that doesn't take away from the fact that I enjoyed myself while I was in the theater, and I liked trying to figure all of these things out, unlike pretty much everybody else sitting behind me and my brother, because they just didn't like the movie. But you have to know what you're in for when you're watching these A24 movies, because they're all different. Have you ever seen Swiss Army Man? Maybe I need to marinate a little bit more. I can't quite get it to 8 right now, but I'm going to go a solid 78% for It Comes at Night. I know everybody that watches this review might disagree with me, but you know what? That's the beautiful thing about movies. I implore you to give this film some thought after you watch it. I guarantee it'll make it a little bit better. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. You guys are the absolute best. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and stay tuned to my channel for some crazy stuff happening this week. Crazy stuff. I'll catch you later.